Maya wiped the sweat from her forehead with the back of her hand. Her feet hurt from standing all day at the grocery store. She had just finished her shift and was walking toward the bus stop. The evening air was cool against her tired face. She carried her old trumpet case in her right hand. The case was brown and scratched. Some of the corners were broken and held together with tape. She did not go straight home. Instead, she turned left and walked toward the small park near the subway station. This was her favorite spot. Every evening she came here to play her trumpet. It was the only time of day when she could forget about her problems and just feel free. Maya was 23 years old. She had long black hair that she always tied back in a simple ponytail. Her clothes were old but clean. She wore the same jeans almost every day, and a few different shirts that she rotated throughout the week. Her shoes had holes in them, but she could not afford new ones yet. Maybe next month, she told herself. She always told herself that life had not been easy for Maya. 3 years ago, her parents died in a car accident. It happened so fast. One day they were there, and the next day they were gone. Maya had 2 younger siblings to take care of. Her brother Tommy was 16 years old and still in high school. Her sister Lisa was only 12. Maya became responsible for them overnight. She was only 20 years old at the time, still in college, still dreaming about her future. But dreams had to wait. Maya dropped out of college to take care of her siblings. She needed money fast. She got a job at a grocery store, then another job cleaning offices at night, and then a third job on weekends at a coffee shop. She worked almost every day. She was always tired. Her body ached. But she never complained because Tommy and Lisa needed her. The only thing she kept from her old life was her trumpet. Her father had given it to her when she was 10 years old. He loved music. He used to play the trumpet too many years ago. He taught Maya everything he knew. She practiced every day as a child. She got so good that she won competitions. Teachers said she had real talent. They said she could be great someday. When Maya was 19, she got accepted to Berklee College of Music in Boston. It was one of the best music schools in the whole country. Maya cried when she got the acceptance letter. Her parents were so proud. Her father hugged her and said, "You are going to be a star." That was the happiest day of her life. But then the accident happened. Everything changed. Maya never went to Berklee. She stayed home to take care of Tommy and Lisa. She put the acceptance letter in a drawer and tried not to think about it. Now, 3 years later, she still played her trumpet, but only in the park. She would sit on the same bench near the fountain and play for an hour or two every evening. Sometimes people stopped to listen. They would stand there quiet, just listening to her music. Some people put money in her trumpet case. $1 here, some coins there. It was not much, but it helped. Every little bit helped. Maya reached the park and walked to her usual bench. She could see the subway entrance about 50 feet away. People were coming up from the underground, tired from work, heading home. The park had big trees and a small fountain in the middle. Birds were singing. Children were playing on the swings nearby. It was peaceful here. She sat down on the bench and opened her trumpet case. The trumpet inside was old and worn. The brass was dull. It had scratches and dents all over. The valves stuck sometimes. Maya had to oil them every day to keep them working. She wished she could afford a new trumpet or even get this one repaired properly. But repairs cost money. Money she did not have. She took out the trumpet and held it in her hands. It felt familiar and comfortable, like holding hands with an old friend. She put the mouthpiece to her lips and took a deep breath. Then she started to play. The first notes came out soft and gentle. She played a slow melody, something her father used to play for her mother. It was a love song, old and sweet. The music floated through the air. People walking by started to slow down. Some stopped completely. Maya closed her eyes as she played. When she played music, she went to another place in her mind. She was not tired anymore. She was not worried about bills or rent or how to buy new shoes for Lisa. She was just music, pure and simple. The notes told stories that words could not tell. They spoke about sadness and hope and love and loss. More people gathered around her. A businessman in a suit stopped and listened. A woman with shopping bags sat on a nearby bench. 2 teenagers stood together holding hands, swaying slightly to the music. An elderly man with a cane nodded his head to the rhythm. Maya played for 30 minutes without stopping. She moved from one song to another, mixing jazz with blues with classical music. Her fingers moved quickly over the valves. Her breath control was perfect. Even with an old broken trumpet, she made beautiful sounds. When she finished the first set, people clapped. Some of them came forward and put money in her case. Dollar bills, quarters, dimes. One man put in a $5 bill. Maya smiled and nodded thank you to each person. She never spoke much. She let the music speak for her. She counted the money quickly. $14. Not bad for 30 minutes. If she played for 2 hours, she might make $40 or $50. That would help pay for groceries this week. Maya started playing again. This time she played something more upbeat. A jazz piece with fast rhythms and high notes. It was challenging. Her lips were already getting tired, but she pushed through. She needed the money. Tommy needed new notebooks for school. Lisa needed money for a field trip. The rent was due in 1 week. Maya was short by $200. She pushed these thoughts away and focused on the music. Her fingers flew across the valves. The trumpet sang loud and clear. The sound echoed off the walls of the nearby buildings. More people stopped. The crowd grew bigger. Maybe 20 people now. Some were taking videos with their phones. Maya did not like when people took videos, but she understood. This was the modern world. Everyone recorded everything. She just hoped the videos would not go anywhere. She wanted to play in peace. As she played, she noticed an elderly man standing at the edge of the crowd. He was different from the others. He was not taking videos or looking at his phone. He was just listening very carefully. His eyes were closed. His head moved slightly with the music. He had gray hair and wore an old brown jacket. His face was wrinkled but kind. Maya had seen him before. He came to listen almost every evening. He always stood in the same spot, always very quiet, always very focused. He never put money in her case. Maya did not mind. She could tell he truly loved the music. That was payment enough. She finished the jazz piece and took a break. Her lips needed rest. She took a sip of water from the bottle in her bag. The crowd clapped again. More money landed in her case. She was up to maybe $30 now. The elderly man walked closer. He stood right in front of her bench. Maya looked up at him. He had gentle brown eyes and a small smile on his face. "You play very well," he said. His voice was soft and a bit shaky with age. "Thank you," Maya said. She was not used to people talking to her. Most people just listened and left. "How long have you been playing?" he asked. "Since I was 10, Maya said. "My father taught me." The old man nodded. "Your father was a good teacher. You have excellent technique. Good breath control. Good tone," but he paused. Maya waited. She was curious. This man seemed to know about music. "But you are holding back," he continued. "I can hear it. You play the notes correctly, but you do not play with your full heart. Something is blocking you." Maya felt tears start to form in her eyes. She blinked them away quickly. The stranger somehow saw right through her. He was right. She was holding back. She had been holding back for 3 years. Ever since her parents died. Ever since she gave up her dreams. "I have to go," Maya said quickly. She did not want to cry in front of this man. She started packing up her trumpet. "Wait," the old man said. "I did not mean to upset you. I only mention it because I see real talent in you. Talent that should not be wasted." Maya did not answer. She closed her trumpet case and stood up. She counted the money people had given her. $37. That would have to be enough for today. "My name is Samuel," the old man said. "I live near here. I come to listen to you every evening. You remind me of myself many years ago." Maya looked at him. "Did you play trumpet too?" Samuel smiled. "Yes, I played for 50 years. I was first trumpet for many orchestras. I traveled the world playing music. It was a good life." Maya felt a small spark of interest. "Why did you stop?" "Old age," Samuel said with a shrug. "My lungs are not strong anymore. My fingers shake. But I still love music. That is why I come here, to listen to you play." "I'm not that good," Maya said. She felt embarrassed. "You are better than you know," Samuel said. "But you could be even better, if you wanted." Maya shook her head. "I do not have time. I work 3 jobs. I have to take care of my brother and sister. Music is just something I do to relax." Samuel looked sad. "That is a shame. Real talent like yours should not be hidden. But I understand. Life is difficult sometimes. We do what we must do." Maya picked up her trumpet case. "I should go. They are waiting for me at home." "Will you be here tomorrow?" Samuel asked. "Yes," Maya said. "I come every evening. Good, Samuel said. I will be here too. I enjoy listening to you. Maya gave him a small smile and walked away. As she headed toward the bus stop, she thought about what Samuel had said. Was she really holding back? Maybe she was. Maybe she was afraid to play with her full heart because it hurt too much. It reminded her of everything she had lost. The bus came and Maya got on. She found a seat by the window and looked out at the city passing by. Buildings and cars and people everywhere. Everyone was busy. Everyone had their own problems. Maya was just one person in a city of millions. No one special. No one important. When she got home, Tommy and Lisa were in the living room. Tommy was doing homework at the table. Lisa was watching TV. Their apartment was small. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a tiny kitchen, and a living room. The furniture was old. The walls needed paint. But it was home. It was theirs. "Hi, Maya," Lisa said when she walked in. Lisa had their mother's smile. It made Maya's heart hurt and feel warm at the same time. "Hi, sweetie," Maya said. She put down her trumpet case and her bag. "How was school?" "Good," Lisa said. "We are going on a field trip next week to the Science Museum. It costs $20. Can I go?" Maya's heart sank. $20? She only made $37 today. She needed that money for groceries and rent. But she looked at Lisa's hopeful face and could not say no. "Yes, you can go," Maya said. "I will give you the money tomorrow." Lisa jumped up and hugged her. "Thank you, Maya. You are the best." Tommy looked up from his homework. "How was work?" "Long," Maya said. She was always honest with Tommy. He was 16 now, almost a man. He understood how hard things were. "But okay. Did you eat dinner?" "We had sandwiches," Tommy said. "There is one left for you in the fridge." Maya went to the kitchen and got the sandwich. It was peanut butter and jelly. Simple and cheap. They ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly. She sat at the table with Tommy while she ate. "I got my report card today," Tommy said quietly. Maya looked at him, and? "All A's," he said. He tried not to smile too big, but Maya could see he was proud. "Tommy, that is amazing," Maya said. She reached over and ruffled his hair. "I am so proud of you." "Thanks," Tommy said. "My teacher said I should apply to college. She said I could get scholarships." Maya felt a mix of pride and sadness. Tommy was smart. He deserved to go to college. But college was expensive. Even with scholarships, there were costs. Books, housing, food. How would they afford it? "We will figure it out," Maya said. "You are going to college?" "I promise," Tommy nodded. But Maya could see worry in his eyes. He knew money was tight. He was a good kid. He never asked for anything extra. He wore the same clothes until they fell apart. He never complained. After Maya finished eating, she went to her room. It was tiny, just enough space for a bed and a small dresser. She shared this room with Lisa. Tommy had his own room, but it was even smaller. Maya did not mind. She was just glad they had a place to live. She lay down on her bed and stared at the ceiling. Her body ached from working all day. Tomorrow she would do it all again. Wake up early, work at the grocery store, come home, play trumpet in the park for money, eat dinner, sleep, repeat. This was her life now. She thought about Samuel again. He said she had talent. He said she could be even better. But what did it matter? Talent did not pay the bills. Talent did not put food on the table. Talent did not buy field trip money for Lisa or college for Tommy. Maya closed her eyes. For just a moment, she let herself remember. She remembered the day she got accepted to Berkeley. She remembered her father's proud face. She remembered her dreams of playing in big concert halls, of making albums, of traveling the world with her music. But that was another life, a life that did not happen. This was her life now, and she had to accept it. Still, as she drifted off to sleep, she could hear music in her head. Beautiful, soaring music. Music that came from deep in her soul. Music that she was too afraid to let out. The next few days passed like they always did. Maya worked her shifts at the grocery store. She cleaned offices at night. She played her trumpet in the park every evening. The old man, Samuel, came to listen each time. He never said much, just stood there with his eyes closed, nodding along to the music. On Friday evening, something different happened. Maya was in the middle of playing a slow, sad song when she noticed a commotion near the subway entrance. There were bright lights, camera equipment, people with clipboards running around. A small film crew had set up right in the middle of the park. Maya tried to ignore them and keep playing. But it was hard to focus. The lights were distracting. People from the film crew kept walking back and forth in front of her. Some of the crowd that usually listened to her had moved away to see what was happening with the cameras. She finished her song and took a break. She watched the film crew with curiosity. They seemed to be filming something about the city, maybe a documentary or a TV show. Then she saw him. A young man stepped out of a black SUV parked at the curb. He was tall and handsome, probably in his late 20s. He wore expensive clothes. Designer jeans, a leather jacket that probably cost more than Maya's rent, and sunglasses even though the sun was setting. His shoes looked brand new and shiny. Several people rushed to him with makeup brushes and water bottles. A woman with a clipboard was talking fast, pointing at different spots in the park. The young man nodded, barely paying attention. He was looking at his phone. Maya had never seen him before, but other people seemed to know who he was. Some people in the crowd started taking pictures. A few teenage girls screamed his name. Marcus Wellington. Maya did not recognize the name. She did not follow celebrities or famous people. She was too busy working and taking care of her siblings to care about that stuff. The film crew started setting up cameras facing the subway entrance. The director, a short man with glasses, was giving instructions to everyone. Marcus Wellington finally put his phone away and walked over to talk to the director. "We are doing a segment on street performers," the director was saying loud enough for Maya to hear. "We want to show the authentic culture of the city. We will film you walking through, maybe stopping to listen to someone play, giving them some money. It will be great for your image," Marcus nodded. "Yeah, fine. Let's make it quick, though. I have a dinner reservation at 8. The director snapped his fingers and pointed at Maya. "Perfect. There is a trumpet player right there. Marcus, you play trumpet too. This will be perfect. You can stop and listen, maybe talk about music with them." Marcus looked over at Maya for the first time. His eyes scanned her quickly, taking in her old clothes, her worn trumpet case, her tired face. His expression did not change much. He just looked bored. "Sure," he said with a shrug. The director ran over to Maya. "Excuse me, miss? We are filming a documentary. Would you mind if we filmed you playing? You will be on TV. It will be good exposure for you." Maya hesitated. She did not really want to be on TV, but she also did not want to cause problems. These people seemed important. "I guess that is okay," she said quietly. "Great," the director said. He turned and yelled to his crew. "Everyone ready? Let's do this in one take." The cameras started rolling. Marcus walked casually through the park, his hands in his pockets. He was supposed to look like he just happened to be walking by, but it was so obviously fake. There were cameras and lights everywhere. As he got closer to Maya, the director made a hand signal. "Start playing," he whispered loudly to her. Maya put her trumpet to her lips and started playing. She chose a simple jazz melody. Nothing too complicated. She was nervous with all the cameras on her. Marcus walked closer and stopped. He stood there listening, but Maya could tell he was not really listening. He was performing, acting like he was interested. His face had that fake smile people make when they are pretending to care. After about 30 seconds, the director yelled, "Cut!" Marcus immediately stopped smiling and pulled out his phone again. "That was good," the director said. "But Marcus, can you show more emotion? Like you are really moved by the music?" Marcus sighed. "Yeah, okay. Let's go again." They did the scene 3 more times. Each time Marcus pretended to be interested in Maya's playing. Each time he looked more bored than before. Maya was getting annoyed. She felt like a prop in their little show. Like she was not a real person, just a background decoration. On the 4th take, something went wrong. Maya was playing and Marcus was doing his fake interested face when a man in the crowd suddenly shouted, "Hey, that's Marcus Wellington, the famous trumpet player." Other people heard and started gathering around. More phones came out. People wanted pictures and autographs. The crowd that had been listening to Maya suddenly shifted. They all moved toward Marcus. The director tried to control the situation. "Please, everyone. We are filming. Step back." But it was too late. The scene was ruined. Marcus looked irritated. He waved off his security guard and decided to take a few pictures with fans. He signed some autographs. He smiled his fake smile and said thank you over and over. Maya stopped playing. No one was listening anyway. They were all focused on Marcus. She felt invisible, like she did not matter at all. She started packing up her trumpet. Samuel, who had been watching from his usual spot, walked over to her. "Do not let them bother you," he said kindly. "They do not understand real music." "It is fine," Maya said. But she felt hurt. She had been playing in this park for months. These people listened to her every day. But the moment someone famous showed up, she was forgotten. The crowd around Marcus was getting bigger. His security guard was trying to move him back to the SUV. The director was frustrated that they could not finish filming. Everything was chaotic. Then Marcus noticed something. He saw that Maya was packing up. He broke away from his fans and walked over to her. The cameras followed him. "Hey, don't leave on my account," Marcus said. His voice was smooth and confident. The voice of someone who always got what they wanted. Maya looked up at him. "It is okay. I am done for today anyway." Marcus glanced at her trumpet case. He saw the old beaten-up instrument inside. He saw the few dollar bills people had left. A smirk appeared on his face. It was small, but Maya saw it. That look of someone who thought they were better than you. "How long have you been playing?" Marcus asked. The cameras were still rolling. "Since I was a kid," Maya said. She did not like the way he was looking at her. "That's nice," Marcus said. His tone was patronizing, like he was talking to a child. "It's cute that you play out here for people." Very authentic. The word cute made Maya angry. Her music was not cute. It was her life, her soul, her only escape. But she did not say anything. She just wanted him to leave. Marcus picked up one of the dollar bills from her case. "Look at this. People actually pay you? How much do you make in a night?" Maya felt her face get hot. "Enough," she said. "Enough," Marcus repeated with a small laugh. "That's sweet. I make more in 1 hour than you probably make in a year." He said it casually, like he was talking about the weather. Not even trying to be mean, just stating what he thought was a fact. The crowd had gotten quiet. People were watching this interaction. Some were still filming on their phones. Samuel stepped forward. "Young man, that is rude. You should apologize." Marcus looked at Samuel like he just noticed an ant on the ground. "Who are you?" "Her grandfather?" "I am someone who knows real talent when I hear it," Samuel said. His voice was firm despite his age. "This young woman has more musical soul in her little finger than you have in your whole body." Marcus's smile disappeared. No one talked to him like that. He was Marcus Wellington III. His father owned 3 record labels. His grandfather had been a jazz legend. Marcus himself had won a Grammy. He had millions of followers on social media. He was important. "Is that right?" Marcus said. His voice had an edge to it now. "Tell me, old man, when was the last time you won a Grammy? When was the last time you sold out Carnegie Hall?" "Awards do not make someone a true musician," Samuel said calmly. "Heart does, soul does. This girl has both," Marcus laughed. It was a cold, mocking laugh. "Heart and soul don't pay the bills. Talent does. Skill does. Training does." He turned to Maya. "No offense, but you are playing in a park for pocket change. I am playing in concert halls for thousands of people. There is a reason for that." Maya felt tears starting to form. She hated crying in front of people, especially in front of someone like him. She tried to blink them away. "You think you are so much better?" Samuel said. "You think your fancy schools and expensive trumpet make you a real musician?" "I don't think it," Marcus said. "I know it. I have been trained by the best teachers in the world. I practice 8 hours a day. I can play things she could not even dream of playing." The crowd was getting bigger. Everyone had their phones out now. This was drama. This was entertainment. Maya wished she could disappear. "Then prove it," Samuel said suddenly. Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Prove what?" "Prove you're better," Samuel said. "Have a real competition. You versus her. A trumpet duel. Let the audience decide who is the better musician." Maya's eyes went wide. Samuel, no. But Marcus was already interested. Maya could see it in his eyes.
He liked the idea.
It would be good for his documentary. Good for his image. The famous musician challenging a poor street performer. Easy content. A trumpet duel, Marcus said, considering it. That could be interesting. "Where were you thinking?" "The Blue Note Club," Samuel said. "Next Friday night. That gives her a week to prepare." The Blue Note Club was famous. It was where all the jazz legends played. Maya had always dreamed of playing there but never thought she would actually get the chance. The Blue Note? I know the owner, Marcus said. I can make it happen. He turned to Maya. What do you say? Do you want to challenge me? Maya looked at Samuel.
He gave her an encouraging nod.
Then she looked at Marcus. She saw the smugness in his face. He was so confident he would win, so sure she was nothing compared to him. What do I get if I win? Maya asked. Her voice was shaky, but she forced herself to speak up. Marcus laughed again. If you win? That's cute. Okay, let's make this interesting. He thought for a moment. If you win, I will give you $50,000. The crowd gasped. $50,000! That was more money than Maya could imagine. That would pay her rent for years. That would pay for Tommy's college. That would change everything. And if you win? Maya asked. Marcus smiled. If I win, you admit on camera that amateurs should leave music to the professionals. You admit that you are not a real musician, just someone who plays for fun. Maya felt sick. That would be like admitting her father was wrong. That all her years of practice meant nothing. That her dreams were stupid. But $50,000. She thought about Tommy and Lisa. She thought about their tiny apartment and the bills piling up. She thought about how tired she was all the time. Okay, Maya said before she could change her mind. I will do it. Marcus grinned. Perfect. This is going to be great TV. He turned to his director. Did you get all that? Every second, the director said, smiling wide. Marcus pulled out his phone. I will have my people contact the Blue Note next Friday night. 7 o'clock. Don't be late. He looked at Maya's old trumpet. You might want to practice. A lot. He walked away back to his SUV. His crew packed up their equipment. Within 10 minutes, they were all gone. Like a storm that came and left destruction behind, the crowd slowly dispersed. Some people came up to Maya and told her good luck. Others looked at her with pity, like she had just made a huge mistake. A few people took pictures of her. By tomorrow, videos of this whole interaction would be all over the internet. Maya sat back down on her bench. She felt numb. What had she just agreed to? There was no way she could beat Marcus Wellington. He was professionally trained. He had the best teachers and the best equipment. She was just a girl with an old trumpet and broken dreams. Samuel sat down next to her. You can do this, he said. No, I cannot, Maya said. Her voice was barely a whisper. What was I thinking? He's going to destroy me. He is going to underestimate you, Samuel said. That is his weakness. He thinks skill is everything. But skill without soul is just noise. That does not matter, Maya said. He is still better than me. Everyone knows it. Samuel was quiet for a moment. Then he said, Maya, can I tell you something? She nodded, not trusting herself to speak. 50 years ago, I was like him, Samuel said. Young, talented, full of myself. I won competitions. I played with famous orchestras. I thought I was the best. But I was empty inside. I played the notes correctly, but I did not feel them. Not really. He paused, looking at his old hands. Then one day I heard a young girl playing trumpet on a street corner. She was not as skilled as me. Her technique was rough, but when she played, I cried. Actually cried, because she made me feel something I had forgotten how to feel. Maya looked at him. What happened? She reminded me why I started playing music in the first place, Samuel said. Not for awards or money or fame, but because music is the language of the soul. It connects people. It tells stories. It heals wounds. He looked at Maya. You have that gift. Marcus does not. Not anymore. Maybe he never did. But he is still going to win, Maya said. The judges will pick him. He is famous. He is skilled. I am nobody. Then we make sure you are ready, Samuel said. I told you I was first trumpet for the New York Philharmonic. I taught at Juilliard for 20 years. I know a thing or two about playing trumpet. Maya stared at him. You taught at Juilliard? I did, Samuel said. I can teach you too. If you will let me. We have 1 week. It is not a lot of time, but I can help you. Maya felt a small flicker of hope. Why would you help me? Samuel smiled. Because I see my younger self in you. The self that still loved music. The self that played with their whole heart. I want to help you find your voice. Your true voice. Not the one you have been hiding. Maya thought about Tommy and Lisa. She thought about the $50,000. She thought about her father and the dreams she had given up. Maybe this was a sign. Maybe this was her chance. Okay, she said. Teach me. Samuel stood up and held out his hand. Maya took it and stood up too. Meet me here tomorrow morning, Samuel said. 6 a.m. Bring your trumpet and your courage. We have a lot of work to do. Maya nodded. She felt scared and excited at the same time. As she walked home that night, her phone started buzzing. Tommy had sent her a text with a link. She clicked on it. It was a video. Someone had posted the whole interaction with Marcus Wellington online. It already had 50,000 views. The comments were mostly people taking sides. Half the people thought Marcus was arrogant and rude. The other half thought Maya was crazy for accepting the challenge. One comment made her stop. It said, "That poor girl has no idea what she just got herself into. Marcus Wellington is going to embarrass her on national TV. This is going to be painful to watch." Maya closed her phone. Maybe that comment was right. Maybe she was about to make a huge mistake. But it was too late to back out now. The whole world was watching. She had to see this through. For better or worse, next Friday night was going to change her life. Maya barely slept that night. She kept thinking about the duel, about Marcus Wellington and his smug smile, about the $50,000, about what would happen if she lost. She tossed and turned until her alarm went off at 5:30 in the morning. She got dressed quietly so she would not wake Lisa. The apartment was dark and silent. She grabbed her trumpet case and a water bottle and slipped out the door. The sun was not up yet. The streets were empty except for a few early morning workers and one homeless man sleeping on a bench. Maya walked to the park. Her legs felt heavy. She was already tired and the day had just begun. When she reached her usual spot, Samuel was already there. He sat on the bench wearing the same brown jacket. Next to him was a large black case. His trumpet case, Maya guessed. "Good morning," Samuel said. His voice was cheerful despite the early hour. "Good morning," Maya said. She sat down next to him and yawned. "Did you sleep?" Samuel asked. "Not really," Maya admitted. "That is okay," Samuel said. "Nervousness is natural, but we need to turn that nervous energy into focused energy. Are you ready to work?" Maya nodded. She opened her trumpet case and took out her instrument. In the early morning light, it looked even more worn and damaged than usual. She felt embarrassed next to Samuel's beautiful case. Samuel noticed her looking. "May I see your trumpet?" he asked gently. Maya handed it to him. Samuel examined it carefully, turning it over in his hands. He pressed the valves. He looked inside the bell. His face grew concerned. "Maya, when was the last time this trumpet was serviced?" he asked. "Serviced?" Maya repeated. "I do not know. I oil the valves every day, but I have never taken it to a repair shop." Samuel sighed. "This trumpet needs serious work. The valves are sticking. The tuning slide is frozen. There are dents that are affecting the sound. You are working twice as hard to play because this instrument is fighting you." Maya felt her heart sink. "I know it is old, but it is all I have. I cannot afford a new one. I cannot even afford to get it repaired." "I understand," Samuel said. He handed the trumpet back to her. "We will work with what we have. But I want you to know that you are already at a disadvantage. Marcus will have the best trumpet money can buy. That gives him an advantage before you even start playing." "I know," Maya said quietly. She had always known. Rich people had advantages. That was just how the world worked. "But," Samuel continued, "a good musician can make any instrument sing. Your father played this trumpet, correct?" "Yes," Maya said. "It was his." "Then it has soul," Samuel said. "It has history and love built into it. That is worth more than any expensive trumpet. Remember that." Maya felt a little better. Samuel had a way of making her feel hopeful even when things seemed impossible. "Now," Samuel said, standing up, "let us begin. First, I want to hear you play. Play anything. I need to hear where you are right now." Maya put her trumpet to her lips. She played a song her father had taught her years ago. It was a simple melody, but it meant a lot to her. She played for about 3 minutes while Samuel listened with his eyes closed. When she finished, Samuel opened his eyes. "That was beautiful," he said. "But I heard what I heard the first night. You are holding back. You are playing safe. You are afraid." "Afraid of what?" Maya asked. "Afraid to let people see the real you," Samuel said. "Afraid to be vulnerable. Afraid to fail. When you play, you are thinking too much. You are worried about making mistakes. You are worried about what people will think. All of that fear is blocking your music." Maya knew he was right. She had been playing carefully for so long, making sure every note was correct, making sure she did not mess up. But in doing so, she had lost something. The joy, the freedom, the wildness that music was supposed to have. How do I stop being afraid? Maya asked. By remembering why you started playing in the first place, Samuel said. Close your eyes. Think back to when you were a little girl. Why did you pick up the trumpet? What made you fall in love with it? Maya closed her eyes. She thought back. She was 10 years old. Her father had just given her the trumpet for her birthday. She remembered how heavy it felt in her small hands. She remembered putting it to her lips and blowing. The first sound that came out was terrible, like a dying goose. Her father had laughed. Not a mean laugh, a kind laugh. And he said, every great musician starts with that sound. Keep trying. So she tried again, and again. And slowly the sounds got better. She remembered the first time she played a whole song without messing up. Her father had tears in his eyes. He hugged her and said, you have a gift, Maya, never lose it. I remember, Maya said softly. Tears were running down her face now. I played because it made my father happy, because it made me feel close to him. Good, Samuel said. Hold on to that feeling. Every time you play now, play for that little girl. Play for your father. Play for everyone you love. Stop playing for strangers who might judge you. Stop playing to be perfect. Play to express your heart. Maya wiped her tears. I will try. Do not try, Samuel said firmly. Do. Now play that song again. But this time, play it like your father is sitting right here listening. Play it like it is the last time you will ever play. Let everything out. Maya took a deep breath. She put the trumpet to her lips again. This time she did not think about technique. She did not worry about hitting the wrong note. She just played. She poured everything into it. Her sadness about losing her parents, her exhaustion from working 3 jobs, her love for Tommy and Lisa, her buried dreams, her hope, her fear, everything. The music that came out was different. It was raw and real. It wobbled in some places. She missed a few notes. But it was alive. It had feeling. It had soul. When she finished, she opened her eyes. Samuel was smiling. Now that, he said, was real music. That is what you need to do on Friday. They worked for 2 hours that morning. Samuel taught her breathing exercises to help her breath control. He showed her how to stand differently to project her sound better. He helped her understand the emotion behind different musical styles. Marcus will play technically perfect music, Samuel explained. He will play fast runs and high notes and complicated rhythms. It will sound impressive. The audience will clap. But you cannot beat him at that game. He has been trained to do that. You have not. Then how do I beat him? Maya asked. You do not try to beat him at what he does best, Samuel said. You play to your strength. Your strength is emotion. Your strength is telling a story. You make people feel. That is your weapon. Maya understood. She could not out-technique Marcus. But maybe she could out-feel him. Maybe she could touch people's hearts in a way his perfect playing never could. After their practice session, Maya had to rush to her job at the grocery store. She was already late. Her manager gave her a warning. One more late arrival and you are fired, he said. Maya nodded and apologized. She could not afford to lose this job. But she also could not afford to lose the duel. For the rest of the day, she stocked shelves and ran the cash register while thinking about music. Thinking about what Samuel had taught her. Thinking about Friday night. That evening, she went back to the park to practice more. Samuel was there again. They worked for 2 more hours. This time he taught her about phrasing and dynamics. How to make soft parts softer and loud parts louder. How to create drama and tension in her playing. Music is like telling a story, Samuel said. There are quiet moments and exciting moments. There are sad parts and happy parts. You need to take the listener on a journey. Right now you play everything at the same level. It is flat. It needs more shape. Maya tried to apply what he was teaching. It was hard. She had never thought about music this way before. She just played what felt right. But Samuel was showing her how to be intentional, how to plan the emotional arc of a piece. This became their routine for the next week. Every morning at 6 a.m., Samuel and Maya met in the park. They practiced for 2 hours before she had to go to work. Every evening after work, they practiced for 2 more hours. Maya was exhausted. She was getting maybe 4 hours of sleep a night. Her lips were raw and bleeding from playing so much. Her body ached. Tommy and Lisa noticed something was different. "Are you okay?" Tommy asked one night at dinner. "You seem stressed." Maya had not told them about the duel. She did not want them to worry, but she could not hide it anymore. She told them everything. About Marcus Wellington, about the challenge, about the $50,000. Lisa's eyes went wide. $50,000? Maya, that is so much money. I know, Maya said. But I have to win to get it. And I do not know if I can. You can, Tommy said firmly. He reached across the table and squeezed her hand. You are the best trumpet player I have ever heard. You can beat that guy, Maya smiled. He is pretty good, though. He won a Grammy. So what, Lisa said. Awards do not mean everything. You play from your heart. That is better. Maya felt tears forming again. She had been crying a lot this week. But these were good tears. Her siblings believed in her. That meant everything. By Wednesday, the duel was all over social media. Marcus Wellington had been posting about it. He shared videos of himself practicing, complex fast pieces that showed off his incredible skill. He had millions of followers. Every post got thousands of comments. Most people were on his side. They thought Maya was foolish for challenging him. Some comments were mean. Who does this girl think she is? One person wrote, Marcus is going to destroy her. Another said, I almost feel bad for her. This is going to be embarrassing. But there were some supporters too. A few people said they were rooting for Maya. They called her brave. They said she was representing regular people against rich celebrities. A hashtag started trending, Team Maya. Maya tried not to look at social media. It was too stressful. But Tommy showed her some of the supportive comments. See, he said, people believe in you. On Thursday night, the night before the duel, Maya could barely eat dinner. Her stomach was in knots. She practiced until 9 p.m. Her lips were so sore she could barely press them together. Samuel finally made her stop. You are ready, he said. Any more practice will just tire you out. Go home, get some sleep. Tomorrow you will show everyone what real music sounds like. What if I freeze up there? Maya asked. This was her biggest fear. What if she got on stage and could not play? What if the pressure was too much? You will not freeze, Samuel said confidently. Do you know why? Because you are not playing for the judges. You are not playing for Marcus. You are playing for your father. For your family. For everyone who said you could not do it. That anger, that love, that passion will carry you through. Maya hugged Samuel. Thank you, she said. For everything. No matter what happens tomorrow, thank you. You are going to win, Samuel said. I know it. Maya walked home slowly. The night air was cool. The city was quieter than usual. She looked up at the stars. Wherever her parents were, she hoped they could see this. She hoped they were proud of her. When she got home, Tommy and Lisa were still awake. They had made a banner that said, Good luck, Maya, and hung it in the living room. They had also baked cookies. They were a little burnt, but Maya ate 3 of them and said they were delicious. We are coming tomorrow, Lisa announced. We want to watch you play. You do not have to, Maya said. It might be hard to watch if I lose. You are not going to lose, Tommy said. And even if you do, we want to be there. We are a family. We stick together. Maya went to bed early but could not sleep. She lay there staring at the ceiling, her mind racing. She thought about Marcus Wellington and his expensive trumpet and his perfect technique. She thought about the $50,000 that could change everything. She thought about what would happen if she lost. Would people laugh at her? Would she have to admit she was not a real musician? Then she thought about Samuel's words. Play for your father. Play for your family. Play for everyone you love. She could do that. No matter how scary tomorrow was, she could do that. Around midnight, she finally fell asleep. She dreamed about her father. In the dream, he was teaching her trumpet like he used to. He smiled at her and said, Remember, Maya, music is not about being the best. It is about being true. Be true tomorrow. That is all. When her alarm went off at 6 a.m. on Friday, Maya woke up with a strange feeling. She was still scared. But she also felt something else, determination. She had worked hard all week. She had learned from one of the best teachers in the world. She had poured her heart into preparing. Whatever happened tonight, she would leave everything on that stage. She got up, took a shower, and got dressed. She chose simple clothes, black pants and a white shirt. Nothing fancy. She was not trying to compete with Marcus's expensive style. She was just going to be herself. Samuel had arranged for them to have access to the Blue Note Club in the afternoon for one final practice. When Maya arrived at 3 p.m., she saw the famous venue for the first time. It was smaller than she expected, but beautiful. Dark wood everywhere, photographs of jazz legends on the walls, a stage with professional lighting. This was a real music venue, a place where real musicians played. Samuel was already there, sitting at one of the tables. "Are you ready?" he asked. "As ready as I will ever be," Maya said. They practiced for an hour on the actual stage. Samuel helped her get comfortable with the space, where to stand, how the acoustics worked, how the lights would feel. By the end, Maya felt a little more confident. At least she knew what to expect. At 6 p.m., Samuel made her stop. "Rest now," he said. "Save your energy. The duel starts in 1 hour." Maya sat in the dressing room alone. Her trumpet sat in its case next to her. Her hands were shaking. She could hear people starting to arrive. The club was filling up. There were going to be hundreds of people watching, plus cameras. This was going to be filmed for Marcus's documentary. Thousands more would see it online. There was a knock on the door. 5 minutes, someone called. This was it. In 5 minutes, Maya would walk out on that stage and compete against one of the most famous trumpet players in the world. In 5 minutes, her life would either change forever, or she would face the most humiliating moment of her life. She picked up her father's old trumpet. She held it close. "Help me," she whispered to him. "I need you now." Then she stood up, took a deep breath, and walked toward the stage. It was time to face Marcus Wellington. It was time to show the world what she could do. Ready or not, the trumpet duel was about to begin. The Blue Note Club was packed. Every seat was taken. People stood in the back, crowded together, phones out and ready to record. Maya peeked through the curtain at the side of the stage and felt her stomach drop. There were so many people, way more than she expected. She saw Tommy and Lisa sitting in the 3rd row. Samuel had gotten them good seats. Lisa waved when she saw Maya peeking out. Tommy gave her a thumbs up. Maya tried to smile back, but her face felt frozen. The club had a different energy than the park. The park was open and casual. People came and went. Here, everyone was trapped in this room together. The air felt thick with anticipation and judgment. Maya could feel eyes on her even through the curtain. A man in a suit walked onto the stage. He was the owner of the Blue Note Club. He held a microphone and waited for the crowd to quiet down. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what might be the most interesting musical event we have ever hosted at this club." The crowd cheered. Maya's hands started shaking harder. "Tonight we have a trumpet duel between 2 very different musicians," the owner continued. "In one corner we have Marcus Wellington III, Grammy winner, son of music royalty, trained at Juilliard, a master of the trumpet who has performed in concert halls around the world." The crowd erupted in applause. Maya watched as Marcus walked onto the stage from the other side. He wore a perfectly fitted dark blue suit. His trumpet gleamed under the stage lights. It looked brand new and expensive. Probably cost more than Maya made in a year. He waved to the crowd with a confident smile. He looked completely comfortable up there, like he owned the stage. And in the other corner, the owner said, "We have Maya Rodriguez, a street performer who plays in the subway park. She has accepted Marcus's challenge to prove that music is about more than just technical skill. It is about heart." The applause was much quieter when the owner said her name. Maya took a deep breath and walked onto the stage. The lights were bright. She could barely see the audience. She could feel hundreds of eyes on her, judging her clothes, judging her old trumpet, judging everything about her. She walked to her spot on the stage. Marcus was about 15 feet away from her. He looked at her and gave a small nod. It was not a friendly nod. It was the kind of nod you give to an opponent before you destroy them. The owner explained the rules. Each musician will play 3 pieces. First round is a classical piece of their choice. Second round is a jazz piece. Third round is an original composition. After each round, our panel of 3 judges will award points based on technical skill, emotion, and audience reaction. The musician with the most points at the end wins. Maya looked at the judges. They sat at a table in front of the stage. One was a music professor from a local college. One was a famous jazz musician who had played with legends. One was a music critic for a major newspaper. They all looked serious and professional. These people knew music. They would not be easy to impress. Marcus Wellington will perform first, the owner announced and stepped off the stage. Marcus walked to center stage. He raised his trumpet. The room went completely silent. Then he began to play. The piece he chose was something by Bach, a complex classical composition that most trumpet players could never attempt. Marcus played it perfectly. His fingers flew across the valves. The notes came out crystal clear. High notes that should have been impossible. Fast runs that were technically perfect. He did not miss a single note, not one. It was like watching a machine, flawless and precise. When he finished, the crowd went crazy. People jumped to their feet. They clapped and whistled and cheered. Marcus smiled and bowed. He looked pleased with himself. He walked back to his spot on the stage and winked at Maya, like he had already won. The judges wrote down their scores. Maya could see them nodding to each other. They were impressed. Maya Rodriguez, the owner, announced. "You are up." Maya's legs felt like jelly as she walked to center stage. She looked out at the crowd. She could see Lisa's excited face. Tommy was giving her an encouraging smile. Samuel sat in the back, his eyes closed, nodding slowly. Maya had chosen to play a piece by Vivaldi. It was simpler than what Marcus had played. Less flashy, but it was beautiful. Her father used to play it for her mother on their anniversary. Maya knew it by heart. She put the trumpet to her lips. Her hands were shaking. She took a breath and started to play. The first note came out a little shaky. Maya's heart sank. Not a good start. But she kept going. She thought about what Samuel taught her. Do not play for perfection. Play for emotion. Play for your father. As she continued, something started to happen. The shaking stopped. The fear started to fade. She forgot about the audience. She forgot about Marcus. She just played. She played the way her father had played this piece. With love, with tenderness, with soul. When she finished, there was a moment of silence. Then the applause came. It was not as loud as it had been for Marcus, but it was warm, genuine. A few people in the crowd had tears in their eyes. Maya walked back to her spot. Her legs were still shaky, but she felt a little better. She had not frozen. She had made it through the first round. The judges showed their scores. Marcus got straight 9s out of 10 from all 3 judges. 27 points total. Maya got 6s and 7s. 20 points total. She was losing by 7 points, Marcus smirked. "Good try," he said, loud enough for people to hear. Some people in the audience laughed. Round 2 was jazz. Marcus went first again. He chose a bebop piece, something incredibly fast and complicated. His trumpet blazed through the notes. He showed off with long high notes and complex rhythms. It was impressive. Technically amazing. The kind of playing that showed years of training and natural talent. The crowd loved it. They cheered even louder than before. Marcus was clearly winning. You could feel it in the room. Everyone was on his side. Everyone except Samuel, Tommy, and Lisa. When it was Maya's turn, she felt the weight of losing. She was already 7 points behind. And Marcus had just delivered another perfect performance. How could she compete with that? She walked to center stage. She had chosen to play a blues piece, something slow and soulful. Nothing flashy. Nothing that would show off. Just honest, simple blues she started playing. The notes came out sad and low. She thought about her mother's funeral. She thought about watching her parents being lowered into the ground. She thought about going home that night and realizing she was now responsible for 2 children. She thought about all the dreams she had buried with her parents. All of that pain came out through her trumpet. The music was raw. It was not perfect. She cracked a note in the middle, but it did not matter. The emotion was real. The hurt was real. When she finished, the room was quiet. People were not sure how to react. It was not the kind of playing that made you want to cheer. It was the kind that made you want to sit in silence and think about your own sadness. But then someone started clapping. Then another person. Then more. The applause grew. It was different from Marcus's applause. It was slower, thoughtful, respectful. The judges showed their scores. Marcus got 9s and 10s, 28 points. Maya got 7s and 8s, 23 points. She was still losing. Now by 12 points total, Marcus looked confident. He was basically winning. All he had to do was play one more good piece and the duel was his. The $50,000 would stay in his pocket. Maya would have to admit on camera that she was not a real musician. The final round was original compositions. Each musician had to play something they created themselves. This was the most important round. It was worth double points. Marcus went first for the last time. He played an original piece that was technical and complex. It had everything: fast sections and slow sections, high notes and low notes. It showed off every skill he had. The crowd could tell he had spent a lot of time writing it. It was impressive in every way. When he finished, people went crazy. They gave him a standing ovation. He had basically already won. Everyone knew it. The judges were smiling and nodding. They showed their scores. All 10s, 20 points. Combined with his previous scores, Marcus had 75 points total. For Maya to win, she would need at least 52 points in this round. That meant she needed an average of at least 8.7 from each judge. And that was just to tie. To actually win, she needed 26 points. She needed all 3 judges to give her scores close to 9. It was basically impossible. Maya stood up. Her whole body felt heavy. She was about to lose. In front of all these people. In front of Tommy and Lisa. The video would go viral. Everyone would see her fail. She would have to admit on camera that she was not good enough. She walked to center stage one last time. She looked out at the audience. So many faces. Most of them wanted to see Marcus win. He was one of them. Rich, successful, famous. Maya was just a poor girl who did not belong here. She looked at Samuel in the back. His eyes were open now. He was looking at her with complete faith. He nodded once. It was a simple nod, but it said everything. Believe in yourself. Trust your heart. Play your truth. Maya closed her eyes. She thought about the piece she had written. She had written it 3 nights ago at 2 in the morning. She could not sleep because she was worried about the duel. So she sat in her bedroom with Lisa sleeping next to her and wrote music. She wrote about her life, about losing her parents, about giving up her dreams, about working 3 jobs, about being tired all the time, about loving her siblings more than anything, about still having hope even when things were hard. She called the piece Still Here, because despite everything, despite all the loss and pain and struggle, she was still here. Still fighting. Still trying. Still dreaming. Maya opened her eyes. She put her father's old trumpet to her lips, and she began to play. The first notes were soft and sad, like a lullaby, like her mother singing her to sleep when she was little. The melody was simple but beautiful. Nothing fancy, just honest emotion. Then the music changed. It got harder, darker. The notes became sharp and painful. This was the car accident. This was loss. This was grief so deep it felt like drowning. Maya poured all her pain into her trumpet. Her face was wet with tears, but she kept playing. Then the music changed again. It became determined, strong. This was waking up every day and choosing to keep going. This was working 3 jobs. This was taking care of Tommy and Lisa. This was being exhausted but not giving up. The notes climbed higher and higher, building, growing. And then the final section. The music became hopeful. Light returned to the melody. This was still having dreams. This was still believing in something better. This was still playing trumpet in the park because music was life. The notes soared. Maya played higher than she had ever played before. Her old trumpet screamed, but it held together. The final note rang out clear and pure and true. When she finished, Maya opened her eyes. Her whole body was shaking. She had given everything. There was nothing left inside her. She felt empty and full at the same time. The room was completely silent. No one moved. No one breathed. Maya stood there holding her trumpet, wondering what was happening. Then she saw it, tears. People in the audience were crying. Not just 1 or 2 people. Dozens of them. The music professor judge was wiping his eyes. The jazz musician judge had his hand over his mouth. Even some of Marcus's rich friends in the front row had tears running down their faces. Tommy was crying. Lisa was crying. Samuel had tears streaming down his old face. Even the bartender in the back was wiping his eyes with a towel. Then someone started clapping. Then another. Then everyone. The entire room stood up. The applause was deafening. It was louder than it had been for Marcus. Much louder. People were not just clapping. They were cheering, shouting. Some were still crying while they clapped. Maya stood there in shock. What was happening? She looked over at Marcus. His face had changed. The confident smirk was gone. He looked stunned. His trumpet hung loose at his side. He was staring at Maya like he was seeing her for the first time. The applause went on and on. People would not stop. They clapped for 3 minutes straight. The owner of the club finally had to come on stage and ask people to quiet down so the judges could give their scores. The judges huddled together. They talked in whispers. They looked serious. Finally, they separated and held up their cards. The music professor, 10. The jazz musician, 10. The music critic, 10. Perfect scores. All 3 judges gave her perfect scores. 20 points. Combined with her previous scores, Maya had 63 points total. Maya had won. She had actually won by 13 points. She beat Marcus Wellington. The crowd exploded. People rushed toward the stage. Tommy and Lisa pushed through and hugged Maya. They were all crying now. Happy tears, relieved tears, proud tears. Samuel made his way through the crowd. "I told you," he said, hugging Maya. "I told you that you could do it." Maya could not speak. She could only cry and hug her family. This was real. This had really happened. She won $50,000. She beat a Grammy winner. She proved that she was good enough. But then something happened that no one expected. Something that would change everything one more time. Marcus Wellington walked across the stage toward Maya. Everyone got quiet, wondering what he was going to do. Was he angry? Was he going to make an excuse? Was he going to be a sore loser? Marcus stopped in front of Maya. His eyes were red. He had been crying too. He looked at her for a long moment. Then he did something that shocked everyone in the room. Marcus slowly removed his trumpet from around his neck. It was his favorite one. Custom made in Germany, gold-plated, worth over $80,000. He had played it at Carnegie Hall, at the Grammy Awards, at concerts around the world. It was his most prized possession. He held it out to Maya. The room went silent. Everyone stared. No one understood what was happening. "Take it," Marcus said. His voice cracked. "Please." Maya looked at the trumpet, then at Marcus, then back at the trumpet. "I do not understand," she said. "You deserve a better instrument," Marcus said. "Your trumpet is falling apart. You played better than me on a broken instrument. Imagine what you could do with a good one." He pushed it toward her. "Please take it," Maya shook her head. "I cannot take this. It is worth more than... I could never afford to replace it if something happened." "I do not want it replaced," Marcus said. Tears were running down his face now. "I want you to have it. You reminded me tonight of something I forgot a long time ago. You reminded me why music matters." The crowd was recording everything on their phones. This was going to be everywhere by tomorrow. Marcus Wellington, the proud, arrogant musician, crying and giving away his most valuable possession. "When I was 7 years old," Marcus continued, "my father gave me my first trumpet. I was so excited. I practiced every day because I loved it. The sound, the feeling, the way music made me feel alive." He looked down at his expensive trumpet. "But somewhere along the way I lost that. Music became about winning, about being the best, about proving I was better than everyone else." He looked back at Maya. "Tonight, when you played that last piece, I felt what I used to feel when I was 7. I felt music in my soul. I have been playing for 25 years, and I have never moved people the way you just did. That is real talent. That is what music is supposed to be." Marcus wiped his eyes with his sleeve. "I have everything, money, fame, awards, but you have something I lost. You have soul. You have honesty. You play because you love it, not because you want to prove anything." He held out the trumpet again. "So please, take this trumpet, use it. Make beautiful music with it. It deserves to be played by someone who understands what music really is." Maya looked at Samuel. He nodded. She looked at Tommy and Lisa. They nodded too. Finally, she reached out and took the trumpet from Marcus. "It was heavy and beautiful and perfect, thank you," she whispered. Marcus smiled. A real smile. Not his fake celebrity smile. "No, thank you. You taught me something tonight that I needed to learn." He turned to face the audience. "I need to apologize. Not just to Maya, but to everyone. I have been an arrogant jerk. I thought because I had training and awards and money that I was better than other musicians. I was wrong. Music is not about being the best. It is about being real, being vulnerable, touching people's hearts. Maya did that tonight. She beat me fair and square." The crowd started clapping. This time they were clapping for both Marcus and Maya. Clapping for the unexpected turn of events. clapping for the lesson they all just learned. The owner of the Blue Note Club came back on stage. "Well, this was not what I expected," he said with a laugh. "But it is definitely the most memorable night we have ever had here. Maya Rodriguez, you are the winner. Marcus will give you the $50,000 as promised." Marcus pulled out his phone. "What is your account information?" "I will transfer it right now." Maya gave him her information with shaking hands. Within seconds, her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen. Her bank account now showed $50,037. The 37 was what she had before. The 50,000 was new, real, life-changing. She started crying again. This money meant everything. She could pay rent for the next year. She could buy Tommy new clothes for school. She could pay for Lisa's field trip and 100 more field trips. She could fix their broken refrigerator. She could maybe even take a break from one of her 3 jobs. She could breathe. The crowd started to disperse. People came up to congratulate Maya, to take pictures with her, to tell her how much her music moved them. One woman said, "I have not cried like that in years. Thank you for reminding me that it is okay to feel." A man in a business suit handed her a card. "I am a talent agent," he said. "I would love to talk to you about representation. I think you could have a real career in music." More people gave her cards. A music producer, a booking agent for clubs, a representative from a record label. All of them wanted to work with her. All of them saw something special in her playing. Samuel stood back and watched with a proud smile. This was what he had hoped for. Not just that Maya would win, but that she would find her confidence, find her voice, remember why she loved music. After an hour, the crowd finally thinned out. Maya, Tommy, Lisa, and Samuel sat together at one of the tables. Marcus came over and asked if he could join them. Maya said yes. "I need to tell you something," Marcus said, sitting down. "I have been thinking about what Samuel said to me in the park, that I have technical skill but no soul." That hurt when he said it, but he was right. He looked at Samuel. "Were you really a teacher at Juilliard?" Samuel nodded. "I was. For 20 years, Marcus laughed. "Of course you were. I should have known. Only a real master would see through my act." He turned back to Maya. "Would you both be willing to teach me? I know that sounds crazy. I've had the best teachers in the world, but they taught me how to play notes. I need to learn how to play music. Real music." Samuel and Maya looked at each other. "Yes," Maya said. "I think we can do that," Marcus smiled. "Thank you. I will pay you for lessons, of course." "No," Samuel said. "You will not pay. You will learn the same way Maya learned, with humility and dedication and open heart. Money cannot buy what we are going to teach you." Marcus nodded. "Okay, I understand." They talked for another hour. About music. About life. About what happened tonight. Marcus was different now. The arrogance was gone. He was just a person who loved music and wanted to be better. Finally, it was time to leave. Maya packed up her 2 trumpets, her father's old one and her new beautiful one from Marcus. She could not believe she owned something so valuable. She promised herself she would take perfect care of it. Outside the club, reporters and cameras were waiting. The video of the duel had already gone viral. Millions of views. Everyone wanted to interview Maya. Samuel helped her navigate through the chaos to a taxi. "Get some rest," Samuel said. "Tomorrow your life is going to be very different. People will want things from you. Just remember to stay true to yourself. Stay true to your music. That is all that matters." Maya hugged him. "I could not have done this without you. You saved my life." "No," Samuel said. "You saved your own life. I just reminded you that you were strong enough to do it." The taxi drove Maya, Tommy, and Lisa home. They sat in the back seat, exhausted and happy. Lisa fell asleep with her head on Maya's shoulder. Tommy held Maya's hand. "I'm proud of you," Tommy said quietly. "Mom and Dad would be proud too." Maya started crying again. She had cried more today than she had in 3 years. But these were good tears. Healing tears. "I hope so," she said. "I really hope so." When they got home, the apartment felt different. It was still small, still old, still needed repairs, but it felt lighter somehow, like a weight had been lifted. Maya looked at the $50,000 in her account one more time. It was real. She had really done it. That night, Maya barely slept. Her mind was racing with possibilities. What would she do with the money? How would her life change? Would people still want to listen to her play? What if this was just one lucky night and she could never play that well again? But then she remembered her father's words from the dream. Music is not about being the best. It is about being true. She had been true tonight. She had played from her heart. She had not tried to be Marcus or anyone else. She had been Maya, and that was enough. The next morning, Maya's phone would not stop buzzing. Texts, calls, emails, news sites wanted interviews. Morning shows wanted her to appear. Her social media had blown up overnight. She had gained 50,000 followers while she slept. People were calling her an inspiration, a hero. The girl who beat the system. One email stood out. It was from Berklee College of Music, the same school that had accepted her 4 years ago. The acceptance she had turned down. The email said they saw the video of the duel. They were impressed. They wanted to offer her a full scholarship. Housing included. She could start in January if she wanted. Maya read the email 3 times. A full scholarship. To her dream school. She could actually go. With the $50,000, she could afford to have someone help take care of Tommy and Lisa while she was at school. Maybe hire a part-time nanny. Or maybe Tommy was old enough now to take care of Lisa after school. He was almost 17, almost an adult. She called a family meeting. She showed Tommy and Lisa the email. "You have to go," Tommy said immediately. "This is your dream. We will be okay." "I can take care of myself," Lisa said. She was only 12, but she was trying to sound grown up. "Tommy can help. We will be fine." Maya looked at them, her beautiful, supportive siblings. They had already sacrificed so much. Their childhood had been cut short when their parents died. They had to grow up too fast. But they were strong. They were survivors. Just like her. "Okay," Maya said. "I will go. But I am coming home every weekend. And you both can visit me in Boston whenever you want. We are still a family. Nothing will change that." They hugged and cried and made plans. Over the next few weeks, Maya's life transformed completely. She quit 2 of her 3 jobs. She kept the grocery store job part-time just to stay connected to normal life. She did not want to forget where she came from. She started giving trumpet lessons to kids in the neighborhood. She charged $20 an hour. The money was okay, but that was not why she did it. She did it because she wanted to pass on what Samuel taught her, that music was about heart, not just technique. Samuel continued to mentor her. They met 3 times a week. He taught her music theory and history and composition, things she would need to know for college. Marcus joined their sessions too. It was strange at first, a Grammy winner taking lessons from a street performer and an old retired teacher, but it worked. Marcus was humble now, willing to learn, willing to admit he did not know everything. The documentary crew filmed everything. They followed Maya for 2 months. They interviewed her family, Samuel, Marcus, people from the park. They wanted to tell the whole story. Not just the duel, but what came after. When the documentary finally came out, it was called When Pride Meets Purpose. It showed Marcus at his most arrogant. Then showed Maya's struggle and preparation. Then the duel. Then the aftermath, the transformation of both musicians. The documentary became huge. It won awards. It was shown in schools. It was discussed in music classes and business classes and ethics classes. It became an example of how competition could bring out the best in people, if approached with the right spirit. Maya got more job offers. Bigger venues wanted her to play. Record labels wanted to sign her. But she turned most of them down. She was not ready for that yet. She needed to learn more first, needed to grow as a musician. She would go to Berklee first. Then maybe in a few years, she would think about a professional career. The Blue Note Club invited her back to perform once a month. She said yes. That felt right. Playing at the place where everything changed. She always packed the house. People loved her performances. She played her father's old trumpet sometimes and Marcus's beautiful trumpet other times. Each one had a different sound, a different soul. Marcus became one of her best friends. It was unexpected, but it made sense. They understood each other now. They both knew what it was like to be on opposite sides of the same journey. He helped her navigate the music industry, taught her about contracts and agents and all the business side of music. In return, she helped him reconnect with his love of music. 6 months after the duel, Marcus quit his big record deal. He started a nonprofit music school for underprivileged kids. Kids like Maya who had talent but no money for lessons or instruments. He called it the Second Chance Music Academy. Maya helped him run it. So did Samuel. They gave away instruments, provided free lessons, created a community where music was about expression, not competition, where kids could learn that their voice mattered, that they did not need to be rich or famous to be real musicians. Lisa joined the school. She wanted to learn trumpet like Maya. Tommy learned piano. They discovered they both had musical talent. It ran in the family. On the 1-year anniversary of the duel, the Blue Note Club held a special concert. Maya and Marcus performed together, not competing, not trying to beat each other, just playing music as partners, as friends. They had written a piece together. It combined Marcus's technical skill with Maya's emotional depth. It was beautiful. Samuel sat in the audience with Tommy and Lisa. He was getting older. His health was not great, but he was happy. He had done what he set out to do. He helped Maya find her voice. He helped Marcus find his soul. He had given his last great gift to the world of music. 2 musicians who would carry on the true spirit of what music was supposed to be. After the performance, reporters asked Maya what advice she would give to young musicians. She thought for a moment. Then she said, "Do not play to be better than someone else. Play to be true to yourself. Do not play for awards or money or fame. Play because music is life. Play because you have something inside you that needs to come out. Play because it makes you feel alive. Everything else will follow." The reporters asked Marcus the same question. He smiled. "I would say learn from someone who is better than you. Not better at technique, better at being human. I learned from Maya that being vulnerable is not weakness. It is strength. I learned that admitting you were wrong is not failure. It is growth. Music taught me that. Or rather, Maya taught me that through music." That night, after everyone left, Maya walked through the empty club. She stood on the stage where everything changed. She took out her father's old trumpet. She played softly, just for herself, just for the pure joy of it. No cameras, no audience, no judges, just music. As she played, she thought about her journey. From a tired girl working 3 jobs to a musician people respected. From someone who was hiding her gift to someone who shared it freely. From someone who had given up her dreams to someone who was living them. She thought about her father, about how he had given her this trumpet all those years ago, how he had believed in her when she was just a little girl making awful sounds, how he had taught her that music was the language of the soul. She wished he could see her now, see what she had become. But somehow she felt like he could. Somehow she felt like he was proud. Maya finished playing. She packed up her trumpet. She walked out of the club into the cool night air. The city was still awake. Cars honking, people walking, life happening all around her. Tomorrow she would start her classes at Berkeley. Tomorrow she would take another step toward becoming the musician she was meant to be. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new opportunities. But tonight she was just Maya, a girl who played trumpet, a girl who had faced her fears and won, a girl who learned that real success was not about being the best. It was about being true, true to yourself, true to your art, true to the people you love. She smiled as she walked to the subway, her father's trumpet in one hand, Marcus's trumpet in the other. Both instruments, both important, both part of her story. The trumpet duel had changed her life, but more than that, it had changed her heart. She was not the same person who had been challenged in the park a year ago. She was stronger, braver, more confident. She knew now that she belonged, that she was good enough, that she had something valuable to offer the world. And that was worth more than any amount of money or fame or awards. That was the real prize. The knowledge that she was exactly who she was supposed to be. A musician, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a teacher, a dreamer who never gave up. Maya descended into the subway. The sounds of the city faded behind her. She was going home. To Tommy and Lisa. To her small apartment that felt like a palace now because it was filled with love and hope and possibility. Tomorrow would bring new music, new challenges, new dreams. But tonight she was content. She was grateful. She was home, and she was still here.